Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you are having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Today we are looking at a green ink. This one is from Alchemy, Mystic Forest. I think this was a Endless Pens exclusive. I'm not sure. Alright, let's bump up the brightness so we can see what's going on here. This is a really nice ink. It's very dark though. This is how it looks to my eye. It's very dark. So we're going to bump up the brightness so we can actually see what there is going on. There's just a little bit of shading in here. Very nice in the switchy swatch. And here's our ink swatch. Water resistance test shows it doesn't have hardly any water resistance. I would not use this on the outside of an envelope for fear it may wash away. Here is our toilet paper chromatography. Starts out like a dark green. It's got a little bit of blue in there and some green and like the tiniest hinge of like teal maybe or yellow. Tiniest hint of teal. Very nice indeed. Before we go on, we're going to share this with our friends so that they can come and hang out with us too. At this time, I would encourage you to share this with your friends so that they can also come and hang out with us too. Alright, we're going to share it out to all of the social medias that YouTube will let us share out to. Then we're going to put it in the Discord. And there we go. So alright, we're all shared out. So now that's done. Today's pen we'll be using the Mahjong P136 with a Conklin broad nib. Alright, let's take a look at some paper review, shall we? This is the Pen and Gear memo book from Walmart.com. Zoom in. Turn the brightness up just a little bit. Don't notice my 5-finger swipe. Beautiful shading, no feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Lightweight Traveler's Notebook paper. It's got a little bit of sheen to it. Some places. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Super lightweight Traveler's Notebook paper. A little bit of shading, no feathering, normal amount of ghosting for this paper. Moleskine 70 GSM, Feather Like a Chicken, Bled to the Page. Field Notes Journal, a little bit of shading, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Fabriano Eco Qua 85 GSM, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Pulp pens, 120 GSM paper, no feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Idea Notebook, 80 GSM, a little bit of shading, tiny bit of feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is 68 GSM Tomoe River. Beautiful sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Midori MD paper. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. I do want to say before I go on, I want to give huge thanks to all of the new subscribers. You guys, I went from having like, I don't even remember. And now I'm like so close to the 1,400 subscriber count. I went from having like 1,087 subscribers, 88 to 1,392. So I got 4 new subscribers. I'm so grateful for all of you to come and watch my channel. This is JOt. Beautiful shading, no real feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Hello, darling. How are you doing today? This is Cosmo Air Light, 75 GSM. A little bit of sheen right there. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is Office Depot Office Max. Beautiful foggy afternoon. It's 68 degrees and sunny. So we're into the swing of spring. Did I say that this is Office Depot Office Max? Got a little bit of shading. Ooh, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Too bad. The JOt Journal from the Dollar Tree. Beautiful shading. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is Sostrene Greens. All over the world. Handelskompagnie. Beautiful shading. Tiny little bit of feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Still getting over the sickness. Maramon, mnemosyne, 80 GSM dot grid. If anybody else has had the flu this season, never goes away, just so you know. A little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. So I do apologize for all of the black and red Oxford Optic paper. Beautiful shading. No real feathering, no bleeding, tiny bit of ghosting right there. This is Clairefontaine, 90 GSM I don't think I've ever heard of Alchemy inks. Do you have any of their other ink? I know that I tried one of them. I want to say 4 years ago, but I think that I took the review. Either the review got taken down, or there was an incident. I don't remember which, but I do remember reviewing one of their ink. And there was either an incident or it got taken down for some reason. I don't remember. I don't even remember what the ink was. Clairefontaine, beautiful shading, no real feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is a nice looking green. Right off the bat, it reminds me of my favorite green, which is Daintree green. Blackstone Daintree green is my favorite green. Okay, this is Ayush 100 GSM notebook paper. A little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. Exceed 100 GSM heavyweight paper from Walmart.com. I almost started to put a P. I don't know why. I was watching something. That's what. See, this is what happens when I start watching things while I'm trying to do my review. A little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Alright, this is Archer and Olive 160 GSM notebook paper. A little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. New Eco. Beautiful shading. Oh, God, I hate yawning. It's such a waste of time. No feathering, no bleeding, barely any ghosting. The Premier Journal from the 99-cent store. Beautiful. No feathering. Little tiny bit of bleed through. Barely any ghosting though. This is the Pen and Gear Poly Composition book from Walmart.com. Beautiful shading. No real feathering. No bleeding and barely any ghosting. This is Up and Up Wide World Composition book from Target.com. Beautiful shading. No feathering. Tiny bits of micro bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. True Red Composition book from Staples.com. Tiny bit of feathering, a little bit of shading, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Apica. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I hate yawning. I hate burping. I hate farting. I hate just things that waste time, especially while I'm trying to do something important. Did I say that this is Apica 81.4 GSM? Then it totally makes me forget where I am and what I'm doing. No bleeding, no ghosting. A little bit of ghosting. Milky color paper from Daiso. Well, you can kind of see the little bit of sheen on there. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding. That ghosting. Ooh, little tiny bit of ghosting. Naughty. Just kidding. The Nanami 7C 68 GSM Tomoe River. Oh, you can totally see the sheen in there now. It's puddled. Puddled? Pooled. Where it's pooled. Puddled. You know what I mean. No feathering. No bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. Never going to live that one down. Alright, this is View Corona 52 GSM. A little bit of sheen in there. Oh, a little bit of shading. No feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This Alchemy ink looks like it might be a little picky too. I think it's pretty good. I mean, considering some of the other ones have just feathered and bled through everything. This is Kokoyo thin paper. It's got a little bit of sheen in there. A little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Yeah, like Lamy, the old Lamy Dark Lilac and with the sugar kelp. Naughty. Bled through everything. Pelican Hub notebook paper. A little bit of stippling. Beautiful shading. No feathering. Tiny bit of ghosting. Heavy ghosting. Looks like it's trying to bleed through. Just heavy ghosting. Smoky color paper from Daiso. Oh, you can even see the sheen on that too. Just a tiny bit. Beautiful shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Excellent. CVS Caliber notebook paper. A little bit of sheen in there, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Oxford notebook paper. A little bit of sheen, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Today is my second day without antibiotics, so this is good news. This is the Pen & Gear Heavyweight Notebook paper. It seems to save its sheen for Primo paper. Yes, definitely. I don't know about Primo. That stuff from Daiso is $1.25. So, I mean, like, I don't know. What is this? This is the Pen & Gear Heavyweight Notebook paper from Walmart.com. A little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. I'm hungry. Okay. Mead 5-star notebook paper. Does anybody else do that? They exclaim what they need really bad, really loudly, expecting people to just, or it to just drop in your lap. Feathering like a chicken, bled through the page. That is to be expected. So hungry. Okay. The HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. A little bit of shading. A little bit of ghosting. This is Rhodia Dot Pad 80 GSM. Ooh, a little bit of sheen in there. A little bit of shading. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Caliber always delivers. Except on that bloody sugar kelp. Beating it with a stick. This is the JNB Copperplate Graph Pad from John Neal. Books.com. I didn't even finish the thing. What's wrong with me? I had to see, this is what happens. I I get busy doing something while I'm in the middle of doing something. Maybe I do have a little bit of ADHD in me. Barely any ghosting. This is original Crown Mill laid paper, 100 GSM. Ooh, this one's a little bit of feathering. Ooh, and it did bleed through the page. And this is Vintage Me, just for giggles. Did relatively good. No feathering. Tiny bit of micro bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. I'm telling you guys, if you go to one of them flea markets, first, don't get lost. Because the only flea market I've ever been to, there's like windy, windy, 10,000 miles underneath the city. Literally underneath the city. I had no idea where the exit was, and there's like no clues of how long you're going to be under there. And let me tell you, I had to go to the bathroom. I was thinking thoughts about pooping in a corner. So, always ask where the bathrooms are when you go in. And have a plan. Go to the bathroom first. Oh, and then ask question. Ask if they have paper or where the paper is. And that might save you 2 hours of looking for the paper when they don't have any. I spent almost 3 hours in this thing looking for 1, a bathroom, and 2, a fountain pen, when I could have just asked a person at the beginning and they would have pointed at their desk underneath. Frustrating. Okay, are you going to be cooperative today? No? Okay. Get the tape. Move this over just a little bit. There. Okay. All right, we're doing another green ink. So I think we'll start with the greens and then we'll see how we go. Okay. Is that better? Worse? Maybe? Zoom in just a little and then I can bring this up. I can zoom in just a little more. And if we tap on the screen and then bump the lighting up a little bit, we can actually see this thing. All right. It seems to have chamber, yes. Caliber. Looking good. Okay, here we go. This is Alchemy. Mystic Forest, not to be confused with Magical Forest from Timing. Next to Waringal Tinkerbell, Green Panda, Marion Bright, Velvet Emerald, Central Park Green, La Falaise à Etretat, Abel, Freddy's Favorite, Wuthering Heights, Brilliant Green, Emerald Green, Ironite, Mermaid Green, Freedom of the Starry Skies Green, Pushkin, Cooked Spinach. Bright Green is kind of similar. Spirit, Jade, Petrichor, Bantayan Turquoise, Palm Green, Arabella Green, Forest Green is kind of close. California Teal looks kind of close. Season's Greetings, Hells, Hera, Golden is Old, Yosemite Green, Peppermint Drop, Cloakin, Forest is dark, Cyber Midori, Jade Noir, Henry David Thoreau, Velvet Storm, Autumn Forest, Olive Green, Uma, Mermaid Green, PSC, Basil Pesto, Zeus Malichin, Walk the Dog, Ina Ho, Horseradish Mustard, Stir Fruit, Espana Boulevard, Olive Swirl, Queen Cashew, Chiku Rin, Lemongrass, Uguisu, Uguisu. In Japan, they pronounce every letter. Underwater Sea Dragon, Neon Green, Calligraphy Passion, Apple Teeny, Meadow Green, Supernatural, Verde Prato, Key Lime Pie, Kakapo Parrot, Holly Twinkle, Delamere Green is kind of close, Vermont is kind of close, Verde Bosco is kind of close, Daintree Green, I knew it would be kind of close to Daintree Green. Golden Ivy is one of my favorite green inks. Umber Green is kind of close, Sherwood Green is kind of close, Emerald, Magical Forest, see Magical Forest, but not the same at all. Spirulina Green, Bezuted Woodgrowin, Sherwood Green, Emerald, Spearmint, Encre Larry Sauvage. I wish I could get another sample of this so I could remake this thing. Diamine Spruce is kind of close. Sherwood Green, Mixable Green, Elf is kind of close. Document Green, Sea Glass, Irahero, Alpha Cap, Emerald Fusion, Noodler's Green, Douse Emerald Green, Nopal, Evergreen, Salamander, Kingfisher Green, Rikyucha, Boreal Forest, Nebula Space Kitty, Green Black, Ebony Green, Green Best Wishes, Black Ivy, Crocodile, Alpine, Heavy Crude, Leaf Green, Sugar Snap, Long Trail, and TikTok Croc. Well, what did you guys think about today's ink? Are you guys thinking thoughts about getting this ink? Do you have this ink? What do you think about this ink? Let me know in the comment section below. I also dig it. It's a nice cooperative ink. In my Mahjong P136, it definitely matches slightly. And with this super smooth Conklin broad nib, makes it really nice for writing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank everybody who's used my link to the Atlas Stationers shop. When you guys use my links, I get a small commission. And so when those build up, I will purchase something with my little commission so that I can make better content for all of you. Don't forget to join our Discord share your journey over there. Check out the paper reviews page. Join our calligraphy class. And if you haven't done so already, check out my website. I have done some updating to the website. So there's a new page. There's, I don't even know. What have I done? I put a testimonials page. If you would like to appear on a testimonial for my website, all you have to do is go to the Google Maps and search Miss Marilyn Darling Show, and then click enter. You guys can't see what I'm doing. Go to the Marilyn Darling Show and then click enter and then click reviews, and then you can write a review down here somewhere. And I'm ever so grateful for everyone who writes a review. It really helps out my little tiny business to get out there so that I can make something that you guys want to watch. Doesn't have to match, just get along. Exactly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. And I will be back very soon with another video. So, take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day.